What is up, you broke ass Timmies? Welcome back to my channel. This is Strawberry Pokemon. My name is Kira. I have been absent for a bit here, and that is because I was vending for 2 weekends in a row selling my art. Quite busy. We also, have life stuff going on. We popped a tire recently, so we only have one car right now. And when you have kids and jobs, the one car thing can be pretty stressful and, just hectic. So, we just got a lot going on. Finally done vending. I took a day yesterday to just relax and chill because that was a lot, 2 weekends straight. But even when I'm away, I'm always paying attention to what's going on here in the PokeTuber space and the Pokemon community in general. I just haven't had time to sit down and really make any videos about any of the things that I've seen. So I have made a list of things I'm going to be discussing this week, but the first one we're starting with today is we're going to be talking a little bit about the PokeNE's Crashout video that he posted. This is not going to be one of those videos where I'm making skits and making fun of, poking fun. I'm literally just going to sit here and react to his video and give my opinions because I definitely had disagreements with some of the stuff he said. I'd like to preface this whole video by saying I don't have anything against Brian from PokeNE's. I have no qualms with him. He has been very respectful in the past, the way that he has disagreed with me on topics. I can't speak for everybody in the hobby. But guys, I don't have anything really against Brian from PokeNE's. You guys can feel however you want about him. That is fine. That's your prerogative. But him and I have had some pretty respectful disagreements and things like that in the past. So he's more on the investor, seller, business owner side of the hobby, and I'm more on the collector side of the hobby. So naturally, there's going to be disagreements. This video today is going to be me disagreeing a lot with him, but hey, that's okay. We can have disagreements in the Pokemon space and still be cool with each other. I really don't dislike him. If I meet him in person ever at a convention or something, I'm definitely going to say hi. He's left quite a few comments on my videos over time here, and I think he's kind of a fan of the channel. Even though I know he doesn't agree with everything I say, I appreciate him. Anyway, let's jump into it, shall we? By the way, in case you haven't noticed, I'm sitting on my new futon. Slowly but surely, we're upgrading the room, guys, and you know what that means. That means the room tour is just that much closer. Okay, Timmies, let's get into this shit. I know I'm a little bit late to this. It did come out almost a week ago now, I think.
No need for a credibility check, we're just going at it. I want to start by addressing the bullshit in the market head on. If you're watching a YouTuber, I know there's Team Rocket Joey, there are other ones as well though. If you are listening to a YouTuber who is telling you guys that set A, B, C, or D is sure to reprint, they're going to reprint it to the ground, the market is overvalued. If you're listening to one of those YouTubers and they have the product that they say is going to reprint in the back of their videos, they're either full of shit or they're stupid. Because
okay, let's pause right there. Okay. I know he mentioned Team Rocket Joey when he's referring to these YouTubers who talk about how the market is overvalued. I don't know if he is lumping me in because he mentioned that there are other YouTubers as well, not just Team Rocket Joey, but I'm one of those people that also preach about the market being overvalued right now, especially the modern stuff, especially the hyper modern stuff, I should say, the stuff that's literally been printed in just this last year. So I don't know if he was lumping me in with whoever he's talking about. Obviously it's Team Rocket Joey, but he's talking about other people too. If I'm one of those people, cool, but I can say this at least, I'm not sitting on, there's not sealed product behind me in my videos. Yes, I have some sleeved booster packs on my thing, over here, my little card stand. Most of those guys, are for Christmas, for Cassian. I'm just trying to look back there to see what's even on it. Some of them I was gonna save for giveaways as well, for this channel, and some of it is not even Pokemon. Booster packs on there, so it's other stuff too. There's Neopets, there's some other shit on there too. So I think I can see what he's getting at here, that if you're suggesting that the Pokemon market's going to crash, fail, crash and burn, and everything's gonna be, printed into the ground, but you're still also investing in products and keeping products behind you, then you clearly don't fully believe that. I think that's what he's getting at. Well guys, I don't have a bunch of sealed products behind me, and I firmly believe that the modern market currently is extremely overvalued. I think this is an extremely unhealthy, unstable market, to be quite honest with you, at the moment. The exponential growth of some of the sealed products that are yes, still in print, going to be printed for the next couple years. I'm not saying that they're going to be printed into the ground, whatever that actually means. But my whole personal stance on these things, right, is that this stuff isn't scarce. No matter how you want to roll the dice, this stuff is not scarce. No matter how high the demand is, all it would take, guys, is for, you know, a good chunk of people to lose interest in the hobby, which happens in Pokemon. It's happened, it just fluctuates all the time. And if this stuff were to kind of fall off a little bit, I'm not saying crash into the ground. Nobody on this channel has said that Pokemon's gonna crash into the ground and burn and whatever. But I've definitely brought up some very concerning things, right? Like, if demand were to fall off a little bit, even a little bit, the stuff we're seeing today is the stuff that's always going to be widely available on the secondary market. The cards are going to be the ones that are available in excess. Whether or not the investor bros seem to think that it matters just because of supply and demand issues, that's not really relevant in my opinion. Pokemon has printed the most cards they've ever printed in the last 3 years alone. I bring this up a lot. And there are actual statistics about the fact that about 50% of Pokemon cards that exist today were printed in the last 3 years alone. And, you know, supply, demand, whatever, no matter how you toss it, that is a large number. Close to half of all Pokemon cards in existence were printed just in the last 3 years. I mean, guys, you need to put that into perspective. Pokemon's been around for almost 30 years. And not only that, not only have they been printed a lot, but they're also being hoarded in people's homes. Okay, that's a big key factor here. A lot of that sealed stuff, a ton of it, we're talking mountains of that shit, are being kept sealed and hoarded in people's houses. And because of this, these products will never be that difficult to find sealed. And the reason that I say that they're overvalued right now is because of this fact that, these things aren't scarce. They're not difficult to find. They're available in excess. You know, the endless eBay listings, endless Facebook Marketplace listings. You go to any card show and every single vendor has all of those exact same sealed boxes behind them for sale. Of course, they're over MSRP, you know, they're going for market value. But guys, just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's scarce. And because it's not actually scarce, I am concerned that this stuff isn't going to hold onto its value, this crazy hyperinflated value, long term. And that's just my personal opinion here in the hobby. It has nothing to do with me holding sealed boxes behind me and shit. I don't do that. So me sitting here having, you know, no stake as far as that goes in the investment side of things. But what I'm doing is just giving my own opinions, right? You don't have to listen to me. You can believe that the market, whatever it's valued at right now, is great, and it's only going to go up and all that shit. So I mean, if that is what you want to think, great. But I'm not doing this. I have no stake in the hobby as far as investments go. But I still will sit here and tell you that the market is overvalued right now, that these products are not scarce, because no matter what, whether demand falls off or not, to be honest with you, this is still the stuff that there's the most of.
That's what's going on right now. I see it all the time. The good guy YouTubers, the ones that are for the people, on your side, the anti-hyper shills, they say these things about these sets that they're actively either buying or at the very least holding, and they say it like it's a fact, like you're stupid for buying them.
Okay. Very interesting to split up the hobby into anti-hyper shills and hyper shills, into the good guys and the bad guys. You're insinuating, it seems, that the people saying don't buy these overpriced, hyperinflated, market manipulated products are the good guys. It's just funny to me because that also insinuates that the people who hypershill the products and are telling you that it's smart to invest in Pokemon right now, especially in modern product, are the bad guys. But these are all just opinions and everything, so I don't really find it necessary to split us all up into the good guys and the bad guys. But it's true, guys, I am out here trying to look out for my broke ass Timmies. You know, my fellow broke ass Timmies. I do not want them overpaying for Pokemon cards, because it's pretty ridiculous.
If you could get full market price for something you paid less for, and you knew there was more coming, you would sell your shit now and buy the more later. It's so obvious. And I'm very good friends with Nostalgianomics. I agree with 99.9% of what he says. But the one thing I
Yikes.
push
Big
back
yikes.
on, and you're not questioning why they're not selling right now. It's obvious they're in it for the money. They're capitalists just like I am. They're not doing it for.
Okay. It's pretty clear to me that in this segment he's sort of talking about like people like Team Rocket Joey, and I guess I will agree with him a little bit here. Like, I guess if you're telling your audience that, you know, now's a good time to sell, I've said it myself personally. I've said, you know, if there's anything in your collection that you don't necessarily want or need, or that you want to trade for something else, now's a good time to do that, especially if you're, you know, it's something you bought years ago and you're up, you know, hundreds and hundreds of percent on that. Now's definitely a good time to sell and get something you actually want, or just pocket some extra money. Like, it is a good time to sell stuff in this hobby right now. Not even just Pokemon cards. I have a bunch of vintage like bullshit over here, like cereal boxes and shit that have also, you know, gone up significantly. So if there's anything at all in your collection Pokemon related, now is a pretty good time to sell those things. The market is absolutely at peak right now. Like, I think it's peaking. And I don't say it based off of nothing either. Like, I say it based off, like I said, guys, I've literally been in this hobby since I was 6. I never left the hobby. I've never taken a break from the hobby. I've been in the hobby since I was 6 years old, and I never stopped being in the hobby. Not when I went to high school, college, anything. And I've been a strong observer of the Pokemon market for a long time. And just based off of everything that I've seen, you know, in the over 20 years that I've been here in this hobby, over 10 years that I've been here as an adult, I believe the market's peaking, and I believe that now is a good time to sell your stuff. And I'll say that all day long. But I guess I can see how, you know, it would be hypocritical in a sense that if you are telling your audience now is a good time to sell, yet you're still sitting on a bunch of products, you know, and you haven't sold a single thing, well, then why are you telling your audience to sell? As far as Team Rocket Joey goes, I'm pretty sure he's been selling stuff. I try to keep up with, you know, his videos, and I'm pretty sure he's been selling his stuff, so he's definitely at least, you know, not being a hypocrite about it. But I'm sure there's plenty of other YouTubers that are. So, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for people like that who just continue to hold on to stuff forever and ever and never sell while, yes, they're telling other people to sell. I kind of agree. There's something to be said for that type of content, for sure.
Sell your investment now and buy the reprint then if you truly think it's going to come back. It's asinine. It's so stupid. Every time he's wrong.
I'm gonna skip the Team Rocket Joey stuff because I don't really feel necessary to to comment on that too much. But I will just comment on the little bit right there where he said, if you really believe like it's gonna be reprinted, then why don't you just, dude, like, yeah, stuff is gonna get reprinted. And I mean, I'm not everything, obviously, but something like Destined Rivals that just came out, yeah, that's gonna get reprinted. It just was. There was a Pokemon Center drop. Pokemon Center had it on their website, and that's gonna keep happening, and it's gonna keep showing up in stores, and Destined Rivals is going to keep getting printed. Yes, I'm not saying it's being printed into the ground. Like, that's an outlandish statement. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily the case. But I believe all these sets are overprinted. That's my personal opinion. I think all this shit's overprinted. I know it's not in the stores, but again, that's artificial scarcity. It's all being hoarded away in people's houses. This stuff is absolutely getting reprinted. So it's silly to think otherwise, to be honest with you. Like, you're making it sound like it's silly to think that this stuff is gonna get reprinted, but it's very silly to think it's not when it's as new as it is. Like, sets like Prismatic, Destined Rivals, Black and White, all these mega sets coming out, like all this stuff's brand fucking new, and it's, yeah, we're gonna see it on the shelves for like quite a long time.
Chances are the normals watching these YouTuber stars probably aren't nearly as financially well off as the YouTubers. And
not on this channel. I'm a real broke ass Timmy, y'all.
One mistake, one decision involving a case of booster boxes can actually make a pretty significant dent or otherwise into their finances. Like,
wait, say that one more time? Wait, say that one more time.
Maybe they're completely oblivious to it, but the people watching them actually listen to what these people say, and they make decisions based on that, and chances are the normals watching these YouTuber stars probably aren't nearly as financially well off as the YouTubers. And one mistake, one decision involving a case of booster boxes can actually make a pretty significant dent or otherwise into their finances.
Okay, wait a second. This is the part of the video where I had some qualms with, and you know, I hope I'm not misinterpreting what he's saying. It's totally possible that I am, but this video seems to be very, like, anti the good guys, in his words. And it sounds to me like what he just said, and please correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it sounds to me like he's acknowledging, at least, that YouTubers who say stuff on the internet and give advice and things have an impact on normal people and could, especially in this hobby, the things that people advise other people to do here on YouTube could actually hurt their financial situation in some way. Yes. Yes, I completely agree with that, Brian. However, I think it's people like your friend and, you know, a bunch of these investor dudes telling people what to buy. And I know, who cares if it's overvalued? Who cares? It's only gonna go up. I think that type of content is much more hurtful, potentially, to people's finances and could hurt their financial situation more than people like me or, you know, whoever else out there who advises people not to overspend on Pokemon cards. If you're saying that somebody on YouTube advising people not to overpay for Pokemon cards because it's overvalued right now is potentially losing them money, I disagree with that statement. You can't lose money that you never spent in the first place. Now, where you could lose money is if you listen to somebody who's telling you that buying in on Destined Rivals right now at like $500 a box is a good investment because if you hold it long enough, it'll eventually go up, right? Well, nobody knows that. Nobody knows that for a fact. To a lot of people, like he's even saying, he's admitting himself, most normal people watching YouTube videos like this aren't rich, don't have tons and tons of money to blow on Pokemon. I've said that a bunch of times in the videos I make here. These dudes have the means, the finances to do this sort of thing. A lot of the normal people who just got here in this hobby and are watching these types of videos from these investor dudes, telling them to buy in at hundreds and hundreds of dollars a box, well, there's way more potential for financial damage there, in my opinion, than somebody advising you not to buy in on these ridiculous prices. Because if something goes wrong, you know, tomorrow, next week, a year from now, whatever, and everything goes below what you paid for it, not saying it's crashing to zero or whatever, but if it goes below what you paid for it, then you will lose money. And that's not like a crazy possibility either. Like that is something that could absolutely happen to these people. But like you said, everyone can just turn the camera on and go, oh, I'm really sorry, guys. Oh, I'm so sorry that I, you know, lost you guys tons and tons of money with my advice. I don't feel like I'm losing people money when I tell them, hey, you guys probably shouldn't spend $500 on a brand new booster box. You can't lose money you didn't spend. So I think the more harmful scenario here are the people on YouTube telling people to spend this ridiculous amount of money and charging ridiculous amounts of money on their rip and ship streams. Thank you very much. There's also just so much conflict of interest. I'm sorry, but there's so much conflict of interest when you are selling these products for a living. Surely he sees that. I'm not even saying that, you know, he like necessarily takes advantage of all that, but there is just so much conflict of interest with anybody on the internet who is selling Pokemon products for a living. Like, that is their business, that's their business model. They sell packs on rip and ships, they have, you know, online shops, and this is literally how they make their money and support themselves. Of course these people would not want to see the market go down, right? Like, of course not. A lot of them would rather it stay hyperinflated like this as long as possible, and maybe he's not included in this, you know, group of people. I don't necessarily think he is, but there's plenty of them out there. There's plenty of them out there that would love to see this go on forever and ever because it's how they're making a living right now. And at that point, it's a conflict of interest when you talk about the market and stuff. I'm sorry. It is. I'm just saying.
Like, there are people making legitimate decisions, people with kids, with spouses, with debt, with college, with mortgages, with car payments. There are people making decisions that significantly affect their bottom line.
Here's the thing. If you have debt, kids, bills you need to pay, other financial responsibilities that are more important than shiny cardboard, then that's where your money needs to go, not investing in a booster box of Pokemon at like $300 a box. That is being financially irresponsible with your money. And again, look, if your boxes are up like hundreds and hundreds of percent that you've been holding on to for years and years and years, yeah, sell it. Sell that shit. If you need money for debt, for whatever, now is a good time to sell that, you know, to sell your stuff. There's no reason that if you need money for loans or credit card debt or whatever it may be, kids. I'm a little bit confused by that notion. Like, if people need money for stuff and they've been holding this shit forever in hopes of selling it, then sell it, because you're up. You're up with your money. You've got the gains at this point. Again, I'm not really an investor, so I'm not over here like selling all my shit because I didn't buy stuff with intentions to sell. But if you did do that, if you did buy certain cards or certain sealed things with the intention to sell, now would be a good time to sell that stuff. Absolutely.
So when we just go, oh, Mega Avalanche is a base set, therefore it's going to be cheap. Why? Where's the logic behind that? Because 3 times it happened to be kind of the case. That argument drives me crazy. Almost as crazy as the gold card thing.
But why? Okay. Why does that argument drive you crazy, though? Why do these people get so triggered and upset when people don't like a set or suggest that a set should be cheaper than it is? It's like you guys don't want the sets to be MSRP for some reason, and I don't understand that. I guess I do, right? Because there's a conflict of interest. But the fact that, like, you know, some YouTubers are on here telling people that one day Pokemon cards will be on the shelves again for MSRP, and you guys think that that's just blasphemous and insane and get so upset like when we say stuff like that. That is weird to me. I don't really understand that. I mean, yeah, I firmly believe Pokemon cards will be on the shelves again for MSRP eventually. Yeah, I do. And I don't think that that's like so insane to think. I also don't think like the Mega Evolutions the base set, I think, is pretty mid. And I mean, of course that's opinionated. But I don't understand why it's so expensive, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm just alone in this, I don't know, but I don't think that the Mega Evolution set is all that. I think that the sets that will come after it will be probably like much better, much more exciting sets. But I just find it interesting how upset they get when, you know, we talk about MSRP. Like, why? Like, y'all really want packs to stay like $10 a pack. That's just like crazy to me.
Unique textures, completely different rarities, they are not the same. So this idea of criticizing people for liking these gold cards, acting like they're jumping on the bandwagon, jumping on the hype train, it's...
Oh my god, but that's all this hobby is right now, is jumping on hype trains and bandwagons. And surely you see that, right? Like, surely you see that, Brian. A lot of what's happening in the hobby right now is just jumping on hype trains and bandwagons. That's why literally a set could be out for a day. It might not even be released yet, but people are already talking about the next set because all they care about is the next big hype thing right now. Right now, those gold cards, they're the next big hype thing, right? There'll be something else, and after that, there'll be something else, and that's all this hobby is right now. I will say this, I agreed with him on a couple of points after all of that. Like, pretty much heavily disagreed with a lot of the things he was saying the first half of the video. The second half of the video, I agreed with a couple of his points. One being the paid Discord bullshit that's going on right now, PokeNotify stuff, all that. Yeah, that stuff's bullshit. I completely agree with him. And I also do agree a little bit with his point about the point he made about all of us complaining lately that Pokemon needs to slow down on their sets, give us more time to collect them. And although in the past I've had the same thoughts about how they print the sets too quickly, listening to his points that he made about this it changed my mind quite a bit. This is a trading card game before it's anything else, and to keep the trading card game, you know, fun and exciting for the players and, you know, not let it get stale, they do have to print sets quite frequently. And to that notion, I understand it, and, you know, I do understand that we weren't, like you said, we weren't all complaining about this before the big boom, before the big hype thing happened. So I don't necessarily think that the problem is that they have to slow down on the sets that they're printing or change what they're doing because us Americans are not pleased with what's going on right now. And instead of slowing down, I think that the Pokemon Company obviously just needs to ramp up printing of the sets that they're making to try and meet some kind of demand. But anyway, guys, yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts. I watched the video and I had some opinions that I felt like sharing about it. I just always have looked at things like long term with the hobby and not short term, and I do still feel like a lot of people are going to get burned after this hype cycle ends. Again, I don't dislike Brian from PokeNE's. I might dislike some of his friends, but I don't dislike him. We just have disagreements sometimes. I'm more of a collector. He's more of a, I don't know, investor, seller person, business dude. So naturally, like I said, naturally we're just gonna have disagreements on stuff, and I just wanted to share my opinions on his Crashout, and that is all this video was today. Brian, if you ever want to hop on a live stream, we could probably have some good conversations. If you're ever interested, I'm down, because I appreciate your ability to respectfully disagree with people without resorting to just calling everyone poor and stupid and broke. So if you ever want to have a conversation, I'm down. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Stay broke out there, you broke ass, bitch ass Timmies. I will see all you guys in my next video, which will be out tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.